Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is the one that belongs to me. I am Jānis Rinkulis VIII, and Jānis Rinkulis VIII means me. Since this is my first video, allow me to briefly explain what in the hell is going on here. I'm a 20-year-old cellist, currently studying in my first year at the Jānis Rinkulis Latvian Academy of Music. But my instrument alone is not enough for me, and so I decided to try my hand at the art of musical composition. The moment I sat down at the piano, full of inspiration to write something grand, I immediately ran into a rather unpleasant, I would even say disgusting problem. The blank page problem. Every attempt to compose something coherent turned into a sort of eclectic mass of questionable quality. So I decided rather to read a book, a good one. After reading Arnold Schoenbergs' Fundamentals of Musical Composition, I realized that the material was masterfully written, absolutely worth a second much closer reading. Schoenberg himself was an extraordinary composition teacher, and in this book he lays out the very concepts and principles he taught to his students. So I've decided to study from this book, and at the same time, record a video cycle documenting my journey as a composition student. The book is divided into 3 parts: construction of themes, small forms and large forms. In other words, Schoenberg begins with the smallest building blocks of music and gradually leads us toward complete musical structures. In today's video, we will look at the first 4 chapters. Chapter 1. The first chapter spans barely a page and a half, in which Schoenberg explains why music needs form at all.
Without organization, music would be an amorphous mess, as unintelligible as essay without punctuation, or as disconnected as a conversation which leaps purposely from one subject to another.
Let's begin with a few quotations from the book. The smallest structural unit is the phrase, a kind of musical molecule consisting of a number of integrated musical events possessing a certain completeness and well adapted to combination with the other similar units. The term phrase means, structurally, a unit approximating to what one could sing in a single breath. Its ending suggests a form of punctuation, such as a comma. Often, some features appear more than once within the phrase. In homophonic harmonic music, the essential content is concentrated in one voice, the principal voice, which implies an inherent harmony. The mutual accommodation of melody and harmony is difficult at first, but the composer should never invent a melody without being conscious of its harmony. Examples 2 and 3 illustrate such cases. Of course, the book contains far more useful information about the phrase than I could possibly mention in a single video, so I will leave a link in the description to Schoenberg's book on Internet Archive. Schoenberg notes that examples 5 to 11 may be taken as an outline for practice. These examples present melodic units derived from broken chords, which the master recommends using as a practice material. In each example, the broken chords are transformed into new phrases, sometimes through rhythm, sometimes through passing notes or embellishments. When I first read the book, I was already inspired by chapter 2 and filled an entire notebook with phrase exercises. Here are some of my examples. Schoenberg begins this chapter by stating that even writing a short phrase implies the use of motifs, because motifs are the fundamental building blocks from which larger structures are created. In the example that follows, Schoenberg demonstrates various methods of manipulating motif: inversion, retrograde, diminution, augmentation, and etc. In examples 17 to 29, Schoenberg suggests should be used for training, which I, as dutiful apprentice, did. Filled yet another notebook with the motifs, and here are some examples of what I came up with.
Apologies for my voice, I'm feeling a bit under the weather. Never mind, conclusion. Chapter 1. If you write music without form, you will end up sounding more like Debussy than a normal composer. Chapter 2. Phrase is the smallest structural unit, like a musical molecule. It is around the length of a single breath, and while writing it, it's worth knowing which harmony it belongs to. Chapter 3. The motif. A motif appears constantly throughout the piece. It is repeated. Repetition alone often gives rise to monotony. Monotony can only be overcome by variation. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. You can consider twice and subscribe to my Patreon.